Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to a little bit of a different type of video today. Today I just wanted to put out a video towards people who are probably new to airsoft or think about getting into it, or maybe parents even, because I know she's 7 or 8 years ago, probably 9 now, when I wanted to start playing airsoft. My parents were looking into safety and stuff like that, and seeing if airsoft would be okay for me to do. And I'm really grateful that they were able to let me do it because it is now my favorite hobby, and I love it so much. So I just want to put out a video to everyone. If people have questions about more stuff, feel free to leave a comment. If you've also been playing for a while and you've got something to add on or correct on what I say, please leave a comment. I'd always love to learn. And yeah, so first off, what is airsoft? So airsoft is pretty much a team bonding type of game. It's a team game. For the most part, there's individual things, but for the most part, in most fields, it's kind of a team game. You shoot little plastic BBs at each other out of replicas of real world weapons or sci-fi weapons. Just there's a lot in the world that is now airsoft, which is awesome. But pretty much you're running around outside, inside, pretty much anywhere, and you shoot your friends with plastic BBs. It's like paintball, but with little BBs, and it's great. It's a great team building type of game. You get a lot of values out of it, which I'll go over later on in the video. But yeah, at the root of it, you shoot little plastic BBs at each other. Now there's a bunch of different play styles, which you'll learn as you go, but the two main ones are milsim, which is what I do, where you wear uniforms and have weapons and stuff that make you look like you're part of a military or something like that. That's kind of the goal. And then the other type is speedsoft, which is more kind of like a paintballer but airsoft. You just look like a paintballer, and your whole goal is just to be as quick as you can, and that's pretty much it. Now, a question you might have with all that I'm saying about paintball is why do this instead of do paintball? Because of cost, it's way cheaper to shoot airsoft BBs than paintballs. It's also less messy because obviously you don't have paint splattering all over you. It's more accurate, your weapons are more accurate in both looks and actually shooting. And those are probably my main reasons for why I would do airsoft over paintball. So as I'll touch on, as I did earlier, just with the values and stuff, why to play airsoft. So pretty much, like I say, you get to build values like leadership, stress management, teamwork, communication skills, which are all extremely vital for just everyday life, and I learned them a lot because of airsoft actually. It's also really good for your fitness. If you're outside, you're just running everywhere with, for me, it's 40, 50 pounds of gear, just sprinting, crouching, squatting, crawling. It's just a full body workout for probably 4 or 5 hours, and I get so tired at the end, and I just feel good after outside in the fresh air all day, get good exercise. What's not to like? Then also another reason why it's pretty good is just because everyone knows Call of Duty, different Fortnite, different shooters like that, and it's just kind of a more immersive experience. And at least the field that I go to, they do a lot of scenarios and stuff that are based off of video games or real world wars and stuff, and it's just another level of just fun and immersiveness into a sport or hobby. So you might be wondering, what do I need to start airsoft? Because you look at someone, I don't want to say myself, but you look at someone who's been playing airsoft for a while, they got tons of stuff, and you're like, gosh, this is just so much, where do I start? I would start with pair of goggles, which you can pick up for $20 or $30. Just make sure that they're ballistic rated. Check out some YouTube videos on it, make sure it stands up to BB fire, because you don't want that breaking. Never do mesh goggles. I don't even know how companies are allowed to sell that, but it's incredibly unsafe because you can have a BB break on those goggles and it could shard into your eyes, and it's just really bad. I would also get a mesh face mask because it's really important to protect your teeth and stuff like that. And then so for protective gear, that's all you like need. But I always use gloves. I've gotten shot in the fingers so much and it just hurts a ton. Like just start out, get some full hand gloves or at least like up to like here so they're like fingerless gloves because getting shot in the fingers is no fun. This isn't really a need, but it's definitely something very useful. Is like a little vest type thing or like plate carrier, just so you can hold your mags when you're out playing. Like yes, you could keep in your pockets, but then it could fall out. It's just not as like comfortable. Just make it easy. Just get a cheap $30 plate carrier from Amazon. So you have some place to keep all your mags, and it also offers a little bit of protection from BBs. And then your gun, you can get a good entry level airsoft gun for about $150 to $200. You can look at G&G, Lancer Tactical. Now, both of those, they'll have their own issues just be at that level just because of how much it is. Like Lancer Tactical, their gears are terrible. I actually posted a short on my channel of just shearing one of the gears. And then G&G usually has some electrical problems. But for entry level, they'll get you in and they'll last pretty good. So again, like I said, you could find that $150 to $200 on like e-bike or Amped Airsoft, like just Airsoft GI, a bunch of different companies. And I wouldn't really go below 150 because then you really lose a lot of quality and a lot of just like accuracy, and it's just not good. Don't go under 150. And then if you're just doing like backyard games and stuff, get a Springer. Get a couple Springers. They're like $20-$30 Springer pistols. That's what I started out with. But if you're going out to a field, I would not suggest a Springer just because you'll be so far behind. Everyone is just going to be terrible. I would also pick up a couple magazines. High cap mags are pretty good if you're starting out. But I personally run mid caps because I hate using high caps. And then something very important that I rarely see people talking about is your BB weight. A lot of like entry level things come with 0.12 gram BBs. Never go below 0.2. It will just destroy your barrel, destroy your hop up. It's overall just so bad for your gun. Just never go below 0.2s. I usually stick at 0.25s, but that's just personal preference. I started out at 0.2s, just don't go below 0.2s. Whatever you do, don't go below 0.2s. And then also, if you do pick up high caps, another thing I see quite often on fields with rentals, I have to just like help people out, just teach them, is when you have that mag, keep it standing up like straight if your gun, so your gun is going across here, your mag sticking out, keep it up, and then you can spin your wheel. But don't like tilt it because the way that the mag feeds, you have to keep that gun up and that mag up for it to feed BBs in. Otherwise, you'll just be winding it, nothing will happen. You'll be like, why am I not shooting? But if you do happen to go with mid caps, which I strongly suggest, get a speed loader for like M4 mags. I'm just gonna say M4 because most people start out with M4 style mags, M4 style weapons, and that's the most common thing. Get a M4 style speed loader. It's about $20-$30, and it's so easy. You just turn a crank, and it just fills your mags up super quick. When I run outdoor games, I'm using 12 to 15 mid caps, each holding like 130, 150 rounds, and I just slap in, crank, take it out, slap next one in, and it just makes life so much easier. So just make sure that you are doing that. Another thing to be mindful of is your footwear. Wear something that's comfortable because you're going to be running around all day. Oh, and something you don't mind getting dirty because you're going to be running around outside for all day. You don't want your feet hurting. Getting blisters while you're playing is the worst thing in the world, and it really just ruins your experience for the rest of the day. Alright, big thing with Airsoft is, unlike paintball, when you get hit, you're not marked. There's no one else ensuring your integrity. just call out. And if you're like, did I get hit? I don't know, just call out. The biggest thing and the worst thing in Airsoft is cheaters. And I mean, I'm sure you've seen all the like YouTube videos of people pointing out cheaters are the absolute worst. And I want to do everything in my power for any new airsofters that are coming to the market. Please have integrity. It's an honor game. If you don't call your hits, you just make it worse for everyone else and you ruin everyone else's experience. Just if you get hit or if you think, hey, maybe I got hit, I don't really know, just call it. It will just make the game so much better for everyone else. And if everyone else is happy, then hopefully they will keep their honor and they'll make you happy. And if you don't do that, it's just the worst thing. The worst days that I've had playing Airsoft is having to deal with lots of cheaters. And that's just the worst. So please, just, it's an honor game. Have honor. Call your hits. Along the lines of things that are rough with Airsoft is just hits. I don't know. I think I still got a couple little marks here from playing indoors. Every once in a while, you'll get one or two BBs that really sting, and it's worse indoors than outdoors. But it's manageable. It's gone in like 5-10 seconds, and for the fun that you have the rest of the game, it's very much worth it. I know that when I was starting playing, or I was watching my friends play, and they would be like, ow, I'd be like, ooh, do I really want to do that? But I'm here to tell you, it's not that bad. It goes away if you wear enough layers. I got all of these because I didn't wear sleeves. I don't wear sleeves when I play Airsoft anymore. It's just where I'm at. But if you wear proper layers, you'll for the most part be okay. And the one or two like hits a day that you get that really do hurt, it'll go away within like 5 seconds and you'll be okay. Another thing to do for Airsoft is if you are in a place, well, just make sure you're in a place that has fields relatively close. I am based around Pittsburgh, so I mean there's plenty. There's Three Rivers, Mercer, Amped, Battlegrounds, Ohio Valley. There's plenty around me, but I know that there's different places across the United States, across the world. There might not always be fields. Just be aware of that and don't spend a bunch of money and be like, hey, I don't have a place to go. Or you could also have friends, and if you got like some woods or something you could play in, you could just do that. I've done that for years, and like I love just having like little background games with my friends out in the woods, and that's a little thing that you can do if you don't really have fields around you. Now, parents, safety, because I know you look up on YouTube like worst airsoft injuries and yada yada this, yada yada that. It's very safe. If you take the proper precautions for your safety gear, that being your eye pro, your like mouth pro, like wearing a hoodie, wearing a helmet, different things like that, you will be okay. In the United States, for most fields, there is a FPS limit, which means that guns can't shoot harder than a certain limit, and that is usually for outdoor fields not more than 400 feet per second. And usually once you get to 500 feet per second, that's when you get those really bad BB injuries that you see on those YouTube videos and stuff. And so in most fields in the US, you'll be okay. You can like look at their website or like call them and be like, hey, what's your FPS limit? And if it's above what you're comfortable with, you can just not go. And but so for all those BB related injuries, wear the proper gear, you'll be okay. Most injuries in Airsoft actually occur from the field itself, like the ground, the terrain, not actually BBs and other weapons. So just as you're going, be mindful of your environment. Just pay attention, stay well hydrated, get good rest the night before so you can stay alert, stay aware, and just be careful where you're going. But again, most injuries occur from the terrain itself, which, I mean, if you're running out in a field doing something else, or playing a sport, it could also happen. So it's not really a risk that you should be worried about. Just stay aware, you'll be okay. Now, I've been playing Airsoft for about 9 years now, and it is my favorite hobby. Like, I love Airsoft so much. I spend all my money on Airsoft. I can't wait to play Airsoft. Like, I love Airsoft. And if I had never gotten the opportunity to play because my parents were like, no, you can't do this because it looks dangerous, I would not have had the fun, the memories, the enjoyment that I have had so far. And with that experience, I have picked up a lot. I mean, if you look at my YouTube videos, you can see that I do fairly well at fields. If you want me to put out a little video on like different like beginner level tactics, just movement and stuff like that, just leave a comment and I can do that. It's pretty simple. Like I said, I've been playing for 9 years, and I mean, it's the greatest thing I've ever done. I love it so much. Yeah, so and also, like, I know a couple people I've given my YouTube, they've left comments asking questions about different stuff. I am more than happy to share my knowledge that I've acquired over the past 9 years on Airsoft. Like, I love any of my friends you can ask. I love talking about Airsoft. I'm pretty knowledgeable about it. I mean, pretty much anything with an M4 you ask me, I know the answer. If you have any questions about anything related to Airsoft, don't be afraid to ask me, because I mean, I love getting new people into a hobby that I enjoy, and I love being able to help teach new airsofters different things and just help them along. So yeah, if you got any questions, leave them down in the comments, and I will be happy to get back to them. I respond to comments extremely quickly. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this helped sway your mind if you were on the fence, or help resolve your mind if you already were like, hey, I should go play Airsoft. And again, if you got any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I'm here for y'all, and have a good one.